you will know my next guest, of course, as a relationship expert on Married at First Sight. I'm a bit obsessed by this show. Behind the cameras, though, Mel Schilling has been undergoing treatment for colon cancer, having had a tumour removed in December. She's now gone public with that diagnosis. Of course, it's all about raising awareness while she continues chemotherapy. Mel, as we say, 6 months on, you look brilliant. How are you feeling?
Thank you. And it's kind of weird to keep hearing that.
Yeah.
People say to me, you look so normal, you look so good. And of course, that's lovely to hear. But
Sure.
I think it's so important to show that, yes, I have days where, of course, I don't wake up like this. You don't wake up like this. We get hair and makeup done.
Absolutely.
But I also have the days where I have 4 out of 10 energy. You know, today I've probably got about a 6 and I'm feeling okay.
That's a good way to think of it.
Yeah,
it's
it
that
helps.
thing that the Princess of Wales said, Catherine said, you know, she was out at the weekend, which was
Yes.
great that she was able to do that. But she said, I've got good days and bad days.
That's right.
And it's true, isn't it?
And I love that she talked about patience.
Yes.
Patience with your body and self-compassion.
Sure.
Because in many ways, I feel like I'm not in my body at the moment. This is not the way my body usually feels. So I've got to be patient and I've got to be kind.
No, exactly, to yourself. It's very interesting, though, because you do, obviously, an awful lot of travelling between Australia and here for both shows.
Yes.
But you thought it was just jet lag. You were exhausted, weren't you?
I was.
But you weren't sure, knew something was wrong, but weren't quite sure what it was all about.
Yes. And I was feeling, again, not like I was in my own body. I was feeling so out of sorts, but I just thought, it's a jet lag. I had done 3 London-Sydney legs within a matter of months. And it's such a big toll on the body. And so in a normal setting, you'd be feeling sleep deprived. Maybe your eating is out of whack. My whole digestive system just stopped.
Right.
And I got to the point where, I hadn't been to the toilet for 3 weeks.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Barely noticed it.
Jeez.
I'd lost 8 kilos.
Wow.
Again, barely noticed it. I don't weigh myself. That's not something that I do. But looking back, I realised I was on set in Australia and they were having to, put pins in the back of my dresses. And I thought, it's just the sizing difference.
And you're so busy.
Exactly.
You're so busy, and we're all a bit guilty of that.
Yeah.
We really are. Diagnosed with constipation, it clearly wasn't that.
Right.
When did you know it was really bad? Was it on another flight? What happened?
It was on the flight home here to the UK.
Right.
And I love food.
Oh, I hear you.
I love it. And I love nothing more than getting on a flight, business class flight, glass of champagne, scrambled eggs, smoked salmon, all my favourites.
Yeah.
That's one of my favourite things to do. But this time, I couldn't even have a cup of tea. I couldn't.
Oh.
And by the time I was back in the UK for a couple of days, I couldn't even hold down water. So my body was just rejecting everything. And
So then you know, for goodness sake, that there's something wrong.
Right.
Definitely something wrong. And the thing is, when you get your diagnosis, it changes everything, doesn't it? It changes everything. And you sort of go into some sort of survival mode as well. It's so difficult.
Absolutely. And everyone has a different reaction.
Of course they do.
To those 3 little words, you have cancer. My hubby Gareth and I were sitting there with the doctor and I quite irrationally just went straight into work mode and I got out my diary and I went, no, I can't have surgery then, I'm working. As if it was the most normal thing in the world.
But you could understand that. It's a defence mechanism,
That's
isn't it?
right. I sort of went into what I can control, whereas Gareth had a very real emotional reaction. And so he was quite ahead of me in terms of dealing with it.
You're very, you really want everybody to be aware of symptoms.
Yes.
In a way that someone like Dame Deborah, I know it was bowel cancer, but the symptoms are very similar, aren't they? It's the same sort of symptoms.
Yeah.
And she was evangelical about it.
She was.
She really was. And that's good. That's what we want. That's what we need.
Yeah.
For some of you, very glamorous, very successful women, sitting here talking about constipation, poo, all the rest of it. Brilliant.
Talk about the poo.
Take the sting out of it because, it's the best
Absolutely.
thing you can do.
Let's not be embarrassed. Let's be a little bit more Aussie about it, right? Let's not be British. Let's
like
be
that.
a bit Aussie and talk about our poo.
Of course.
Because if it changes, it's like a little test of how our internal health is going. Our poo, just like our hair and our nails and our skin, they're indicators of, how well our health is going. So if we're too scared to look in the bowl, then, it's a bit like being too scared to look in the mirror.
Oh, that's a brilliant way to think of it. I've never thought about that before, but you're absolutely 100% right. So anybody sitting watching this who thinks, maybe there's something, it's great to go and get it checked out.
Yes.
Because it'll be reassurance if it's okay.
Yes.
And if you get this early, as you know, you can be all right? Because you're still undergoing treatment, aren't you?
I am. I'm at round 6 of 8 rounds of chemo at the moment.
That's hard, isn't it?
It's
It is hard. Even when you're very good and you put a brave face on it. And there you are, putting a brave face on it.
Yeah,
there you go. You
there
know,
it
with thumbs
was.
up and all of that. But it is tough, and you do
tough.
have to sort of. You're right. Patience is an amazing thing.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty exhausted right now.
I'm sure you are.
But I'm also doing what I love to do. And for me, it's so important to be able to say to people, if you're noticing changes in, you know, the gut pain, particularly women, because we have so many, you know, generalised abdominal changes, don't we? And we just put it down to hormonal stuff.
Yeah, we say it's hormones, it's, you know, it'll be something to do with periods, it'll be something like that, it'll be all of that sort of thing. I mean, you went back to work so quickly. I mean, I obviously watched I watched the show. I watched the Australian version of Married at First Sight, and I had no idea the agony you were in. You really were incredible.
It's incredible for me watching back that last reunion episode, because I don't look like myself. You know, there's so much.
You're a trooper.
Pain there.
You're an absolute trooper. You really are. So much so, I understand that you're kind of sort of gearing yourself up for maybe Strictly Come Dancing. Would that be something that you would like to do?
Is that a nasty little rumour you've heard, Lorraine?
Because I could see you would be. Look there. Look, you and your. Oh, come on. That is a match made in heaven.
Let's manifest this
We
right
have
now, Lorraine.
to.
Oh my gosh.
And of all the folks you could dance with, he's an angel.
I'm so ready for you, Johannes.
You're waiting for him. You're waiting for him.
I'm ready.
Oh,
That's
it's
perfect.
great.
That's my destiny.
Exactly. Look, you take care of yourself.
Thank you
Look
so much.
after yourself, because I know how much you give to other people. Just, you know, take care of yourself. I hope that you know, all the treatment continues to go well. Yeah. And I would just love to see you in Strictly in September. Just putting it out there, that's all. Just putting it out there.
Let's do it.
It's all good. Thank you so much. It's great to see you. Thank you. And remember, of course, you can find all the signs and symptoms of, as we talked about, colon cancer, bowel cancer on our website.